Welcome to Straightport Connection with Tommy again. This video is going to be on Impact Wrestling for this week and next week as well, as I have a little bit more detailed report from this week's shows from another source. But first, some brief TNA news from other stars. Matt Hardy has been announced to appear at Legends of the Ring 14, which takes place Saturday, June the 2nd, at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Monroe, New Jersey. ProWrestling.net reports that Spike TV president Kevin Kay was at the Impact Wrestling taping in Orlando on Monday and threw a party for the TNA wrestlers and the crew after the show. Kurt Angle wrote the following on Twitter about Jesse Sorensen as he visited him. Angle says Sorensen is facing a 1-year recovery. Quote, I visited Jesse Sorensen. He is moving his arms and legs. Doctors say 1-year recovery. I say 4 months. Jesse is a hero and a fighter. I will be back. Quoted Sorensen from Angle. And unquote from Angle. The first main event for TNA Lockdown's pay-per-view in April will be James Storm versus Bobby Roode for the TNA World Heavyweight title. As noted before, there has been talk of doing a Hulk Hogan and Garrett Bischoff versus Gunner and Eric Bischoff match, with Flair possibly filling in for Eric. Lockdown takes place from Nashville, Tennessee, as announced this year's, and like before, all matches will take place inside the steel cage. Also, as noted before, Taz missed Against All Odds because of a death in his family, and he also missed the Impact tapings as well. He wrote on Twitter, quote, my wife's brother passed on Saturday night. Great man, I would have never had a career if it wasn't for him. Gave me the money to go to wrestling school, but I had nothing. Rip Joe, unquote. I give my condolences to Taz and his family as they go through hard times. Several segments on Thursday's edition of TNA Impact were taped out of sequence on Monday night. It appeared as though they got Brandon Jacobs' segments out of the way so he wouldn't be there for tonight's taping, the second part, at next week's event. So stay tuned if he is in the event, so I haven't read it myself. Okay, here's the first report from for this week's show. They said there were no announcers for the set of tapings from Monday night show. It appeared that Taz was still dealing with the death of his family and was unable to travel to Orlando. It would appear that the commentary will be added in post-production. So you're going to have Ghost on the show. Okay. Here we go. They start off with Bobby Roode coming to the ring and request that Chrissy Hemme reintroduce him because the Impact Zone was so loud from people chanting his name and saying, Roode. Roode pointed out that he is still the champion after defeating 3 men at the same time. He really enjoyed looking at Sting when his hand was raised because Sting has tried to screw him. Roode talks about how Sting should be pointing the finger at himself and not at Bobby because it was Sting who helped Roode retain the title. The crowd chanted for Sting, and Sting came to the ring. Sting says that he was selfish and let his anger affect the outcome of the match. Sting commented about how he screwed Hardy this time. He wants to make it right, and because Bobby Roode is a fighting champion, he will defend the Impact Wrestling World Championship in a no disqualification match with no time limit. And that match will be next. So they start off the match with the championship. Start off this week with the championship match. I wonder if it's going to be another screw job. We'll soon find out. Match number 1. Impact Wrestling World Champion Bobby Roode defeated Jeff Hardy to retain the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight title in a no disqualification match with no time limit. They fought backstage, and Hardy hit a clothesline off the stage onto Rude. Hardy was about to hit the Swanton, then Kurt Angle interfered, allowing Rude to win with the spear. Match number 2, James Storm defeated Bully Ray with the last call super kick in a number 1 contender match. Wow, that was fast. Ray worked on Storm's left arm, left foot, during the match and removed his boot. After the match, Storm celebrated, but was attacked by Ray. New York Giants running back Brandon Jacobs came to the ring and got in Ray's face. Ray spat beer in Jacobs' face, and Jacobs responded by pushing Ray down. Jacobs and Ray had to be separated. After Ray left the ring, Jacobs raised Storm's hand. The finish of the Hardy-Rude match was retaped, with Angle throwing Hardy into the ring steps and Rude pinning Hardy after a spear. Okay. So that wasn't much different than the other day from Monday's other report. Match number 3, Impact Wrestling X Division Champion Austin Aries and Zema Ion defeated Alex Shelley and Shannon Moore when Ion pinned Shelley with a roll-up. At least he didn't botch and hit the guy on top of the head in this match. Aries was preparing to give Shelley a brainbuster, but Ion made the blind tag and got the victory after Shelley escaped the brainbuster. After the match, Aries and Ion faced off, and Shelley got involved before the officials got involved. Madison Rayne had a promo before the Knockouts Battle Royal. Yeah, the Knockouts had a Battle Royal. Madison talked about how generous Gail was to allow everyone to have a chance to become the number 1 contender. Match number 4 was your Battle Royal. Madison Rayne won the Knockouts number 1 Contender Battle Royal. The final person eliminated was Velvet Sky. During the match, Madison was a ringside with Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion Gail Kim. And after Velvet eliminated Sarita, Madison returned to the ring and eliminated Velvet. So she played it smart, very similar to quite a few WWE with guys. Like, for instance, Edge has done it, Miz has done it, and yada, yada, yada. The order of elimination was Winter went out first. Brooke Texmacher went out second. Third was Rosita. Fourth was Mickie James. 5 was ODB. 6 was Tara. 7 was Angelina Love. And Sarita was number 8. And then 9 was Velvet Sky. Gail Kim did not appear to be happy with Madison winning the Battle Royal, but now they got to face each other. Duh. Sting comes to the ring and he wants to speak to Bobby Roode. Sting announces the match of the year for the Impact, and it will be Roode against James Storm. Roode kicks Sting in the groin and then takes Sting's glasses and puts them on. He hits Sting with a title belt and puts the glasses back on Sting. Eric Bischoff, Gunner, and Ric Flair come to the ring, and they are joined by a woman in red dress, unknown name. Probably just a random woman. What the other report said. Bischoff mentions that Gunner and Flair helped to end the chapter in Garrett's life, where Garrett wanted to follow in his father's footsteps. Eric wanted Flair and Gunner to have some champagne, while Bischoff has one more thing to say about Garrett. Eric then talks about how Garrett is probably in a hotel room watching this. He tells Garrett that this is a waste of time to follow in his father's footsteps. He tells Garrett that he is not his father. Garrett can do whatever he wants, but he should not think about coming back into his business ever again. Okay, the partial results for next week's show, because that ended this week's show. Okay, the 23rd, February 23rd, they taped the Brandon Jacobs coming to the ring and talks about James Storm's victory from this week's show. He talks about how Bully Ray should have known better than to spit in his face. Jacobs lets Ray know that he is in his backyard again and calls Ray out. Ray comes out and tells Brenda to settle down as Ray introduces himself to Jacobs and he points out his calves to Jacobs. Ray says that they have a lot in common. They are both champions, but Brandon is a 2-time champion while Ray mentions that he is a 23-time champion. Well, duh, that's tag team champion. They both have ties to New York since Jacobs plays there and Ray is from there. When the crowd chants for Jacobs, Ray wants to know why they like him. Ray says that he would like to beat up a Super Bowl champion, but he won't waste his time on someone who gained 59 yards in the Super Bowl. Jacobs chases Ray to the back. Main event for the show, James Storm and Jeff Hardy defeated Kurt Angle and Bully Ray in another disqualification match when Storm pinned Ray after the Brandon Jacobs chokeslammed Ray through the table. Before the match started, Storm brought out Brandon Jacobs, claiming that Brandon had some unfinished business with Bully Ray. And now for your full taping. TNA, taped on Monday night again. Already read that. Okay, Bobby Roode opened the second tapings and runs down Sting. Roode says that he has forced Sting into retirement and everyone can say their goodbyes later tonight. Roode calls ending Sting's career the best moment of his own career. Next up was Samoa Joe and Magnus defended the tag team titles successfully against Crimson and Matt Morgan when Crimson accidentally hit his partner. After the match, they argued and Crimson walked out. So I guess their tag team was broke up. Zema Ion beat Alex Shelley while Austin Aries watched from ringside in the next match. Gail Kim beat ODB in a non-title match. During the match, Madison Rayne came down to watch. She celebrated with Gail after the win, but Gail was hesitant. Next up was AJ Styles beat Robbie E with the TV title on the line, but by disqualification. The disqualification came when Kazarian and Daniels interfered. And the main event, so from what it says, Sting comes out and says the job is too much for him and he's finished. Roode comes out and plays the heel. Sting starts putting face paint on and says Roode has caused him to feel alive now. Sting says he is going to whoop Roode's butt at Victory Road. Roode tries to get a cheap shot in, but Sting blocked it. Sting drops Roode and tells him to get ready for Victory Road before tossing the microphone at him. I guess it's say ta-ta for now. And that ends the taping. As well as the video. Stay tuned for Sunday night for the results from the pay-per-view from WWE. And y'all can see me then.